Good evening, Philippines. Good morning, good afternoon, world. Welcome to another interesting episode here at the English Blog. My name is Adrian from Makati City, Philippines.
I'm Kristine from Daytona Beach, Florida in the States.
And I'm Sarah, an American living in Italy.
And we are the English Blog team. We are a blog of English teachers, by English teachers, and for English teachers.
In today's episode, Season 4, Episode 2, we are talking about setting goals for the new year. So there's no better time than now, the month of January 2021, to talk about these things. And you get to hear from a certified life coach, Mr. Adrian Pentoniel. So stay tuned, you guys.
At the English Blog, we provide customized lesson plans, curriculum mapping, and unit planning services, life and career coaching sessions, weekly vlog, and blog content related to ESL education. For any inquiries for our services, visit our website at theenglishblog.com.
Besides our website at theenglishblog.com, you can follow us all over social media. We premiere our vlogs here on Facebook, but you can also reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and after they premiere on Facebook, the videos also go to YouTube. So no matter what platform you like, please like, follow, subscribe, leave us comments, tell us what your goals are, what you would like to see from us in the future, and just any topics that you have about teaching English. We have a new media platform as well, just for you in 2021. We have now partnered with 90.5 FM Good Vibes Radio in Mindanao. If you're in Mindanao, you can listen to our vlogs at the same time when they premiere on Facebook, Fridays at 7 p.m. If you're not in Mindanao, do not worry. Just go to the Good Vibes Facebook page and they will also put them on the internet. So you can listen to internet radio and you can watch the vlog or listen however you want. We're so happy to be partnered with Good Vibes FM. So today we're talking about goals for 2021 and beyond. So I want to ask our resident life coach here, Adrian. Adrian, tell me, what are goals?
Okay, I gathered these definitions from online dictionaries. Goals are the end toward which effort is directed, aim or purpose, something you hope to achieve in the future. And sometimes goals can be generated internally from your own personal aspirations and motivations and from your values, and sometimes also externally, either by your parents, by family or friends because of peer pressure, for example, or by society.
Next question. How can you determine if your goals are realistic?
You know, it took a while for me to actually generate an answer to this, and I had to think it through and also do some research from other sources online. When you write a goal without actually seriously thinking of what it would cost you to achieve it, when I say cost, that's not only monetary considerations, but also your time, your energy, your effort, and your resources currently or in the future, that is most likely unrealistic. So 2 questions to ask if you want to check if it's actually realistic is, have you actually thought about it carefully and considered the other 4 letters in the SMART model in achieving goals? I'm referring to specific, measurable, achievable, and time bound, because the R there is the realistic. And then the second question to ask to check if it's actually realistic is that a combination of the 2 letters there, which is, are these achievable in a certain time period? But at the end of the day, it's your willingness and commitment to pursue it, along with your skills and the available resources around you, that would determine how realistic your goals are.
Can I ask you a question, Adrian?
Sure.
What's the most unrealistic goal you've ever set in your life?
Good question, Sarah, because I was going to say that earlier, but I forgot to mention. So one of the craziest, unrealistic goals that I have written in my bucket list is to own a franchise of Jollibee. And as you know, Jollibee is the equivalent of McDonald's here in the Philippines. And I guess because it's just blind fate that actually led me to write that in my bucket list. And I did not actually think of the other considerations that I mentioned earlier. I did not think of the specific, measurable, achievable, and time bound. So I am guilty of making an unrealistic goal. What are strategies to employ to achieve your goals?
I'm a huge fan of writing down my goals, whether it's in a notebook or on a piece of paper, and then hanging that piece of paper on the wall for me to see every day when I'm in my bedroom or wherever I am in the house. And I was inspired to do that from people that I follow on social media. I at one point got really into writing down my goals and even laminating them. And it really helps me to, yeah, I would even laminate them so that it would look nice on the wall and I would pay more attention to my goals whenever they were on my wall.
You
And
are hardcore.
really hardcore. Yeah. But it makes the biggest difference. Like the smallest things make the biggest difference. Maybe it seems like doing something little like laminating your goal sheet is not that significant, but when you actually do that and you see that shiny little thing on your wall versus just a piece of paper on your wall, it really makes a difference for me personally. And I have achieved a lot more goals by just putting in that little effort at the beginning of the year. And some people would say that you should tell people your goals to hold you accountable for them. I have tried that in the past, but personally, that does not really work for me. I prefer having my goals to myself and then working hard towards them and then looking forward to telling people later on that I achieved those goals. So for me, those are some strategies that I have employed. Um, so the first one, write down your goals, whether it's on notebook, on a piece of paper, on your Google Docs, on your computer, whatever works for you. And then my second one, it's up to you if you want to tell people and have them hold you accountable for your goals. But um, if not, then you can secretly work towards your goals and then look forward to telling people that you achieve them later on.
Really good answer. Next question is, how do you overcome obstacles when trying to achieve your goals? So I can share my answers to that question first. I have written three um, tips to overcome your obstacles. Number one is study the obstacle and its pros and cons. The reason why I wrote pros there is because I feel like sometimes when you have obstacles along the path of your dreams, it actually makes you think and makes you learn something about your dream and about how to work around that path to get through to your dream still. There's a quote by Ryan Holiday saying that the obstacle is the way. So obstacles are not always bad. Number two is seek counsel from others who have done the same thing, or either old people or people who have similar experiences, may not necessarily be directly related to the thing that you want to achieve. And number three is do the divide and conquer approach. So do it bits and do bits and pieces of it. And there's also a phrase that says, um, "Eat that frog first thing in the morning." What they mean by that is you prioritize the hard stuff so that it's easier for you to progress when you're already finished with the difficult parts. What do you think about this, Kristine?
So I completely agree with what Adrian said. Try to knock down the hard stuff first, so that it's not so daunting for you later on. And also for me, I would add that perspective is very important. You don't want to see goals as something that inhibits you or stops you. You don't want to see obstacles as things that inhibit you or stop you from achieving your goals, but rather something that you can overcome, and not just overcome, but become stronger from having overcome those obstacles. And I might have mentioned this before, but I recently read this book called Anti Fragility or The Anti Fragile by Dr. Nassim, and I wrote a blog about it on the English blog. And it talks about not just being resilient, that just means surviving through circumstances, but being anti-fragile, which is a term that he kind of made up, and that means becoming stronger, firmer, more, I guess, just better prepared for the future, from those obstacles, and not becoming weaker or just simply surviving it. So use your obstacles to your advantage. And maybe by the time you achieve your goal, you'll have become a much better, stronger person.
Here's a question for Sarah. How can you help students set and achieve their goals?
Yeah, goals and goal setting is a great topic for any classroom, and especially the ESL classroom. I'll get to how you can help them achieve their goals and set their goals, but I think first we should talk about why goal setting can be a great lesson. One, there's so many different angles you can take with it. You can study woulda, coulda, shoulda with it. You can study how you can study steps. You can really make it into any language point at any level that you want. So it's a really good topic for just a lesson generally. And then it's a really especially good lesson for in a classroom for people who clearly do have a goal. They want to progress in whatever they're learning, in this case, English. And so just the act of goal setting in that context in the classroom can really help them in their total language learning process, because you're kind of thinking about it in a meta process way. And I like to help adults and children set their goals. I think that they both can and they both should, because I think when the student sets goals, I always like to do a kind of joint goal, because some, especially children who are in your class by obligation and not by choice, they might not honestly have a lot of goals for their English. Talking about what they want to be able to do in English is not of interest to them in the slightest. So when I do a goal setting lesson, I like to mix it. Something that's a goal for us here in the classroom, something that you're gonna work on here in this space with me, and all sorts of other goals that you have in your personal life, or professional life if they're an adult. Which really makes it more interesting to the student, gets the student more invested, which we've talked on numerous vlogs before. If you actually want to teach English, you need to get the person excited to do something they want to do, and they just happen to be doing it in English. That's how you're going to teach the English aspect of this. But beyond that, setting a goal that includes something that they want to do linguistically or professionally with English, it really helps them, like Kristine said, to have some perspective, to have a large overall view of where they're going. And I like to set goals early in the year. You should revisit those goals. You should check on it and see, how are you doing? Have you done any of these sub goals that you identified to get here? Maybe you identified some potential obstacles that you've overcome in the past semester. And you can talk about that, and it helps teach the process of working on a very large extended project of goal setting, and it can help people make it through the tough spots, or especially for children, the boring spots they don't want to learn. If they feel that, wow, actually I can see how this helps me do my sub goal, which helps me get to my main goal, which is being a YouTuber and playing video games in English all the time, then they're a little more interested to learn how to phrase polite questions. So I think it's important to connect it to the student's life, and it'll make everything that you teach a lot more relevant to them, seemingly relevant.
How can you set and achieve your own goals as a teacher?
There are three things that I have in mind. The first one is to have a community of teachers. And when you have a community of teachers, you can get their feedback about their teaching experiences, what they have learned along the way, what goals they have set in the past, and learn from their experiences. There's so much that you can learn from having just a community that you can regularly interact with and learn from. And the second one is pretty much related to the first one. If you have a community of teachers, hopefully there are some teachers that you can really look up to and see as role models. But other people that you can see as role models are former teachers that you've had, or um, maybe there are people that you watch on video and you really admire their style and their passion for teaching, and you can use that to help you set goals like I want to be just like that, or I like how empathetic this particular teacher is, I like how this teacher really is attuned to the individual needs, desires, and personalities of their students. I want to be more like that. So I think those first two would be really good. And then a third one is to kind of similar to what I said before, is to write down your goals and make it more specific to your role as a teacher. You can write down, I want to be better at personalizing my lessons and being better attuned to the needs and personalities of my students, or um, I want to spend more time on lesson plan making and be better prepared when I come into class. So you can just write down those goals. And again, writing them down makes the biggest difference in the world. So it's something that I highly recommend. And yeah, those are three things that have helped me a lot as a teacher. And I'm still learning. It's a lifelong process and something that I will never discontinue doing.
Yeah, I totally agree with Kristine about writing down your goals. Sometimes I feel like a little bit kind of the anti Kristine. I don't set a lot of goals and I typically don't write them down. But since I became an English teacher, I do actually find myself making more goals and setting more goals because I think that setting broad goals for your class will help you build a better sequence. And then, of course, within every single lesson, you want to have an objective that you achieve. It's built into the process of teaching. Your lesson has to achieve this X thing. I like that way of thinking. And I think that, especially for me, sometimes it's easy to set a goal. And then as time goes by, I forget to make sure that whatever I'm doing in this moment is contributing to that goal, that it is serving that goal. So that would be my advice to teachers is set your goals, but then make sure that the lessons that you're making are helping you achieve that goal. Identify exactly in what way are they helping you help your students pass this test or helping you get your promotion or whatever it is that you want. Make sure that what you are producing is really actively contributing to your movement along that goal path.
And we've come to the last questions. How do you deal with competing goals? For example, the school's department's goals and your goals for the students. For me, what I would do is I would talk to my supervisor or whoever is ordering that goal, the rationale behind the goals, because maybe the reason why I'm resisting it is because I did not understand the why behind the implementation. And then if I feel like because I know my students better because I'm the teacher in the classroom, then I will tell them why I feel like it has to be a different set of goals for these students. And that maybe then we can actually come to a compromise and agree which parts can be changed. Um, the worst thing that could happen is to actually just comply blindly out of obedience and for you not to lose your job. But hopefully, you have that kind of management where they would really listen to you and hear you out. And then if they feel like you really do have a point because you know your students better, then they would actually allow you to set goals for your students instead. That's my view of an answer to this question.
Yeah, I think Adrian is spot on that these competing goals, you kind of want to make them not competing. And you can do that through Adrian's method by changing the goal, compromising on the goal, hybridizing the goal. And I think you can also do it, especially if you've got, it's not just from administration that might have different goals, but maybe your students have different goals, or the goals of administration and the students don't align, and you're the teacher there in the middle trying to help two people achieve these both seemingly incompatible goals. And I think a lot of the time you can take a look at it and try to recast it to really take a look at, does this really fit? I'm just thinking of, especially in the US, and a little bit when I taught in France, there's a lot of like standardized testing that the administration wants, but the students don't really like and the teachers don't really like. And so, yeah, I was working with these teens and they're like, this test is kind of pointless. It doesn't really test my English ability. And I'm like, and especially with teens and adults, I think you get a lot of mileage out of being honest. If you can't change that arbitrary goal, you can kind of change people's perspective on it by saying, actually, I think it's kind of arbitrary too, but we don't make the rules. And also, what's your ultimate goal? Your goal, if you're a French teenager, you want to go and get a job where you speak French, and you want to get a better job because you speak English. So while this test is not going to really test your English ability, this mark on this test is going to determine where you're going to go to university and what you're going to study. And that is going to also determine what kind of job you get. So yeah, I'm going to work on both goals. We're going to get you to pass this test, and we're going to get you to have sufficient English level that, because if if we believe that the test is kind of meaningless, you still need to learn English, but you also need to learn how to do this test. And especially with teenagers who kind of feel like the whole world is arbitrary, it can be really surprising, and it can build a lot of confidence between you and them if you just acknowledge, is it the way I would do it? No. But here we are, we're a team, and this is what we've got to do. So let's find a way to do it. And I think that helps people feel a little more in control of the situation, which can help you navigate these competing goals. Sometimes you can compromise, and sometimes you've just got to be honest and say, we just got to do this.
And there you have it, guys. We have just shared with you some of the tips around goal setting. I hope that these ideas would help you achieve your goals for this year. Now, we want to know, which one goal are you working at this year? So leave it in the comment section, and would like to hear from you. Now, remember, the English blog team provides customized lesson plans, curriculum mapping, and unit planning services, live and career coaching sessions, weekly blog, and blog content related to ESL education. For any inquiries, messages on our website, www.theenglishblog.com, or in these social media handles, which Sarah will mention to you.
Yep. So you can find us all across social media, and you can send us a message or a comment. Please, we want to hear about your 2021 goals, whether they're realistic or a little bit unrealistic, or maybe you have a mountain of goals that you are ready to laminate now. Or maybe like me, you're a little bit, we're just lucky we're going to put it pen to paper and write down some goals. But whatever status you are and wherever you are, you can find us and talk to us. We premiere our videos here on Facebook. You can leave us a comment. You can send us a message. We're also on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And now we are also on the radio here in the Philippines at 90.5 Good Vibes FM, Good Vibes in Mindanao. And again, if you want to listen live, you can tune in on the radio at 7 p.m. on Friday, just the same time that we premiere the vlogs on Facebook. And if you're not in Mindanao, like me and Kristine and Adrian, then you can also listen online at Good Vibes Facebook page, which is down there on the bottom. We are so excited for this partnership. We are so happy to bring you English teaching content in any media, in every media. So please let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see, and help us set some goals for the English blog.
So there you have it, guys. We hope that this year all your goals will be realized. And from the English blog team, my name is Adrian from Makati City, Philippines.
I'm Kristine from Daytona Beach, Florida.
And I'm Sarah, ciao ciao, from Italy.
Keep learning, everyone. Stay healthy and happy. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.